What is up, everyone? Jay here with another Fire Emblem Heroes video, and today we're going to take a look at June's Fate channel for this year, and it has some pretty cool stuff. Well, I guess it depends on what you think is cool and what you like, but for me, that has some interesting stuff and some things I might summon on. So yeah, Fate channel's here, and we are starting with the new trailer slash movie for Book 8. I think we're at Book 8, right? Am I tripping? I think it's Book 8. But yeah, even though I'm not invested into the story or anything really with Faye and its story, because I don't think the story's that great most of the time, or I'm not really invested in the OCs as much, they did cook with this book. I think I like a lot of the designs, and the trailers are always really well made, high quality. I mean, just look at these trailers. That's one thing I appreciate with Faye, even if they don't always make the best decisions actually play, like in gameplay and whatnot in the actual game. The trailers always are well made. And yeah, we have this new dude, the brown skinned dude, the dark skinned dude, Chad energy. He's also really scary. Look at him just pulling out of the ground, coming out of the ground. And this guy that everybody was down bad for because he's muscular, I don't blame you. But yeah, here he is. And Ratatoskr is going to try to take a hit. But I think they're related, like maybe a brother or something. I'm not sure. Maybe that was already told to us. I just don't remember. But yeah, he holds back because he doesn't want to hurt her. And he's like, all right, I'll do it myself. And he's like, you want to throw hands? I can throw 1,000,000 of them. And Ratatoskr is dead, it looks like. That is terrible. Then they of course cut to her with her family and everything. And even though Ratatoskr is not my favorite OC or anything, she's adorable. You know, she's a precious squirrel, and for him to do this to her, if it is true, if she's actually gonna die, is terrible. That would be really sad. I hope she doesn't die. But they have killed off characters in Fae, so I wouldn't be surprised if they do. But yeah, it's gonna be really sad. Even though like characters dying in Fae, it's not like they can never show up on the screen again with dialogue. You know, like Asker died and he still talks, and same with Fjorm. So, but yeah, this is sad to see because I do like Ratatoskr. She's the precious squirrel that helped you, you know. And this guy doesn't give a fuck. He's just like, yeah, stay on the ground. But yeah, he's definitely pretty scary because he just comes out of the roots and just throws hands. Definitely has an evil aura to him. Yeah, the mastermind. Okay, I'm not gonna try and pronounce their names because I'm just gonna butcher it, but Faye does say the names. But yeah, Muscular Man and Bandage Woman, they were in the cover art of the game, or cover art for this book. And yeah, they're finally here because I think we're at midpoint. I'm not sure if this is midpoint or not, but here they are. The dark skinned guy was never shown before, so I was kind of pleasantly surprised by him. So here she is. She has healing capabilities, so I assume she's on our side. So here she is, like putting something in Karan's mouth there, like some aura or something, some energy. And then this guy, this muscular man, everybody's down bad for him, including the Fey Owl, because she does say, you know, his legs are as thick as Yggdrasil. So she had to say it. I don't blame her, I guess. But yeah, go off, queen. But yeah, he's really cool. I like how he has a dumbbell as a weapon. Bro is always working out. And then this dude, again, I'm not going to say his name, but yeah, he's really cool. I like how he's pretty genuinely terrifying. And there he is, just like coming out of the ground like crazy. Yeah, the avatar of Yggdrasil. So definitely no joke. And he'll be a mythic someday, which it might be a long time from now, but I guess he's a mythic. And hopefully he doesn't do anything like that to Ratatoskr, please. But yeah, so that is the trailer. That is the Book 8 midpoint, and we move right along with some of the free stuff they're going to be giving us. Of course, celebratory quests and a bunch of free goodies, which some of it's underwhelming. Like they're only going to give us like 80 Divine Dew, which is like not that much. I wish they gave us more because Divine Dew is expensive, but hey, better than nothing. We do get 800 Grails though, so that's pretty great. That's a considerable amount. And some Dragon Flowers is always nice to have. And then we also have a few orbs, a little bit of feathers, and a bunch of other stuff that is not as important, like stamina potions, because I'm sure most players they have a surplus of stamina potions. But we do get 80 divine refined stone, should I say. Crystals, 3 orbs is, yeah, that's barely anything. Dueling crest. I know some people are low on dueling crest, so that could help. But yeah, so that's nice to have, even if it's not that much. Overall, daily new hero summoning events, revivals, that's a lot to say. Almost I stumbled over my words there. But yeah, some banners that you might want to pull on, or just hopefully get someone for free. These would be nice to have just as a free summon, because it's always nice to have a free summon, because you always have that hope that you'll pull a 5-star, even though you obviously aren't going to always. But yeah, each event is 4 days, so I guess multiple banners per day. And then now this is the banner that's pretty crazy. Double AHR, bottom 8. So the losers, the people who didn't win AHR, are going to be on this banner. And so it's basically AHR part 2, except you have more units on it. And you know, well, the last one this year was what, all green, and there is 3 blue units on this banner. You have Veil, Winter Edelgard, and New Year Hather Sather, but still really amazing value banner because pretty much all these units are top tier, or at least really good, or provide really good fodder. I'd say the worst unit here is Golvig, but even then Golvig is always going to be nice with the ability to move again. And if you do have her at high investment, she can pack a punch. Obviously she's pretty strong, and everyone else here is amazing strong, like Winter Edelgard and Winter Bile, they're still top tier. Ninja Sanaki is a really great nuke, of course. Nabatatina is one of the best Omni tanks. Veil, even though she's not like the most scary unit offensively, she still provides that scout support, which is really good. Ninja Camilla, I mean, you know what she does. She's like flying Valentine Leon, or she was the first, you know, really cheesy chip damage cheese user, because she can do that. And then New Year Sather and Hather, they cheat with the res checks and they just pack a punch. So yeah, really amazing banner if you really want to pull on it. Whales will probably go hard on this banner. But yeah, really cool, because I don't think they've ever done something like this where they take the losers of AHR and put them on one banner. So yeah, and you have a 6% rate, so it's a little bit better, so that's cool. But yeah, hopefully I get someone for free on this. That would be really great. And there are tickets for it, I believe, as well, so that will help. So that's pretty great. Yeah, there are tickets, so we get 5 of them, so that's pretty nice. So yeah, cool banner. And then now we have another cool banner coming up, the Dawn Brigade. Is it the Dawn Brigade? Yes, it is. Well, it's not the full Dawn Brigade. Obviously, this is not everybody. You can already tell by the silhouettes we are getting Micaiah and Soul alts. Well, we do have 2 new members to FEH from the Dawn Brigade finally after like years. We have Edward. So Edward, he's not the most popular character, but I know there was one Edward stan I think I saw on Twitter a while ago. So she's probably really excited. But yeah, Edward, Blade of Justice, of course, one of the members of the Dawn Brigade, and he is a sword infantry that provides a really cool new skill and also has a PRF, I believe. So as you can see in this combat, Breath of Life 4. Now I'm not gonna go, oh, I don't know, but the trailer, the actual trailer for them where I can go over their skills is released, so I'll probably go over that in this video. So this video is gonna be kind of longer. But yeah, Edward provides Breath of Life 4, which basically heals you at the start of combat, which is amazing, and that is a counter to all the chip damage stuff, and it's just gonna make your, you know, survivability a lot better. So that's really cool that Breath of Life 4 is like that, and that's something I expected from Breath of Life 4. And then now we have Leonardo, not from the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, but Leonardo, the archer from Radiant Dawn. Freedom's Arrow has cool art, and yeah, he's a pretty popular archer. I know a lot of people wanted him, so here he is finally. And he's going to be the demote, so he's not going to be like anything outstanding, but he's going to have the modern stats, and he's someone I might build myself because I do like him. I do, if you guys know, Radiant Dawn was one of my first Fire Emblem games. It was my very first Fire Emblem game, so I have a soft spot for Tellius. And then we have Gerard here, or I think that's his name, right? He's a GHB. He's not on the banner, but he is going to be, I mean, you can tell he's a GHB because he's a bad guy. Navasa General. And hopefully he has a PRF of some kind, I'm not sure. Hopefully he's not just another generic weapon, you know, or maybe he has a new weapon that's like inheritable. I mean, the weapon right there doesn't look too outstanding, so I don't, maybe he does have a PRF, I don't know. But yeah, he's going to be a, I guess, a lance armor. I could be wrong. And then we have Soth here, having a rearmed version, and Soth is always someone I've liked. I think Soth is super cool and badass, and him and Micaiah are an iconic duo. And Soth is, he doesn't have many alts. I think he only has one, right? The Thief one a couple years ago, or like a year and a half ago or 2 years ago, where he was a demote, I believe, the Green Dagger one. I could be wrong. There's maybe another Soth alt I'm not thinking of right now. But yeah, either way, Soth doesn't have as much alts compared to his Micaiah, of course. But here he is with a rearmed version, providing a really sick dagger. And yeah, again, I don't know. Maybe I won't go over the Fate trailer, but he does come with attack speed finish. And I think, what else does he come with? I forgot what else he had. But yeah, he comes with finish. And he's going to be an amazing dupe because his dagger is for speedier units, as you expected, because Arcane Void was for slower ones. And then we have Micaiah finally. So again, I told you I have a soft spot for Radiant Dawn and Tellius, and Micaiah is one of the characters I've loved. I always like Micaiah. So here she is, and even though this is her like 20th alt, I get it. Lords are always going to get alts, just like Marth got his this year. But yeah, Micaiah, I love the design here. It's beautiful. And yeah, she's a green flying mage this time, just like her brave version. But this one is insane. Again, we'll go over her skills in the actual trailer for it, because they're not going over in depth here with all the skills and whatnot. But this Maikai is pretty crazy, even though she does, you know, obviously function as you expect from any kind of Maikai version with high res, high attack, dual effectiveness. But yeah, that is the new Telly's banner, and Gerard is the GHB because he's not there. Yeah, so there he is. Nolan is missing, Meg is missing. I think there's a couple other units. I don't remember everybody from the Dawn Brigade, but those two aren't in the game yet, unfortunately. But we do finally have some of the Dawn Brigade finally, so the question has been answered. Even if it's not all of them, it is indeed the Dawn Brigade. So yeah, that's the main series banner. And we have new Aether Raids map. Okay, that's cool. This one, I don't know if it's going to be meta. There's certain maps that are very, very good for the most part if you're actually taking Aether Raids seriously. And some of the new maps they've added recently aren't that great, but who knows, maybe that one's good. And then we have this new game mode that's coming out. I think it's called United Warfront, I believe. Looks interesting. I don't fully understand it because I kind of just glanced over it. But it's kind of cool because you get to use your friends' units, and any kind of mode where you can use, you know, you can set proxies and use your friends' units is always cool in my book. So, you know, allegiance battles, you can use your friends' units, and what else can you use your friends' units? Obviously, pawns are low key. So any kind of mode where you can use them is cool in my book because you get to see a lot of cool different builds. So here is, yeah, I like how they're all zoomed in here with their sprites. So let's see if I can understand this mode. So there is Tellius themed, I guess, for this one. I mean, it makes sense because they just showed the Tellius banner. United Warfront. This is going to give you a bonus. Heroes from your army and others that are from the same title get plus 10 HP and plus 4 to all stats. So yeah, basically you want to match the game that's currently the bonus, I suppose. So in this case it's Radiant Dawn. Or maybe it's not Radiant Dawn only. Maybe it's just any game as long as you match with your friend. Maybe, I don't know. So yeah, it's been a while. I feel like it's been a while since we got an actual game mode. When's the last time we actually got a game mode? So you have 5 battles and you want to try to clear all of them, I guess. So choose a summoner whose heroes will fight. So you get to pick a team, and you can set your proxies, of course. So those are units you're gonna let other people use and you can display. Okay, so again, I don't fully understand the mode right now. It makes sense when we actually play it, at least for me. You can add to your brigade. So yeah, add up to 2 of your own heroes to your team, and then I guess 2 from your friends. So that's cool. I like that. So more friend compatibility and accessibility, I suppose. Yeah, Leonardo comes with attack res finish, it looks like, or is that defense finish? I don't know. But that's cool to have that in the demo pool. So yeah, team formation, 2 units from Radiant Dawn. You have Leo and Edward, and then you got Brave Soren and Legendary Ike. So if you match from the same game, you get extra stats. So pretty simple. And yeah. So, it looks like Edward has buffer 4. I didn't even realize he had that. So yeah, that's the last game mode. As you can see, you can also do this. Yeah, so Awakening, of course. So you can get more stats from that. So I think that's pretty much it. Yeah. So that is the Fate channel pretty much. And now I will go over to the actual Radiant Dawn trailer and we'll look at the actual skills for Edward and all of them. Alright, so here is a proper look at Edward's skills. He is a pretty amazing sword infantry. And honestly, I expected him to maybe be the demo and Leonardo to have the PRF, but it's reversed. So yeah, Edward is a new god sword. Khaled Bolg is his weapon, -1 cooldown to start combat is alive. He grants plus X to all of his stats. X equals 25% of the foe's attack at start of combat, -4, maximum 14, minimum 5. Has null guard and also halves DR skills from spur and close call, etc. And also grants special cooldown count -1 to himself before the foe's first attack during combat. So that's amazing to help him trigger his specials easier, of course, and also helps you against scowl effects a bit, so that's really good. And at the start of combat, if he's alive, he reduces damage from the foe's attacks by Y during combat. When foe's attack trigger foe's special, Y equals 16. When foe's attack does not trigger foe's special, Y equals 8. And unit's next attack deals damage equal to the total damage reduced from foe's first attack. So he has damage reflection as well. So pretty unique weapon, because I don't think we've had a sword infantry that has the ability to have the flat DR, and also there's not many sword infantries that can have the special acceleration in combat like this. There isn't that many, so I like that. And also damage reflection as well. That's not very common on sword infantry. So yeah, really cool weapon that is going to make him live a lot longer than you might think, because the flat DR right here is basically flat DR, similar to Attuned Asita, I believe, because Attuned Asita has amazing damage reduction, and hers, while hers is way more has way more potential because it can be more than 16, because it's dependent on the foes next to her, or not foes, her the bonuses on our teammates, still having the ability to reduce damage by 16, and you know, it's not percentage based, is really good. And even if it's not 16, 8 is still a good amount. So yeah, Edward is going to live a lot, and he has buffer 4 as well, and godlike reflexes for the unpierceable damage reduction. So yeah, amazing. He's definitely going to be a really sleeper sword infantry, because you might look at him and he's not going to be like a unit you're thinking is going to be insane, but he is pretty insane in his own way. And here is his skill, Breath of Life 4, which you of course saw in the FEH channel trailer. So this is the counter to the start of combat damage. I love it. This is something I've been wanting, and this is something I predicted Breath of Life 4 would do. So for allies, and while it is long, this also applies for yourself. So they basically repeated it, which I think they didn't have to. They could have just put 4 allies and units. I don't know. But yeah, so this is for you and yourself essentially. So for you and yourself within, what am I saying? For allies and you within 2 spaces of unit, restore X HP to that ally as their combat begins. Now X is going to vary, of course. So triggers after effects that deal damage as combat begins. So of course this is going to trigger after Flared Sparrow, so that 7 chip damage basically doesn't matter because you can offset it by healing that off. And if your ally's defense is greater than the foe's defense, X equals 20% of ally's max HP. So an interesting check right there. So 20% of your max HP, and plus the difference between stats times 4. Okay, so that's a interesting check. So yeah, that can be a lot of HP. And X equals 20% of allies max HP, max 40% of allies max HP plus the damage dealt to ally as combat begins. Only highest value applies, does not stack. So a lot of craziness going on here with the checks. Definitely something I didn't expect for this skill, but still this is going to make it where, I mean, there's still a lot of chip damage stuff. You can stack a cold strike and whatnot, but this can basically offset it as long as you meet some of these checks. So I like how the ceiling for it isn't just 7 HP or something, you know, it's more than that. So I like that. And for allies within 2 spaces of unit, you grant defense +4, and you reduce the effect of deep wound. So even if fatal smoke, you know, comes around and afflicts you with that deep wound status, you can halve it by 50%. So that's amazing. And this second part is basically just saying for yourself again. So it's the same thing. So basically it's just for you and your allies. So that's amazing. Breath of Life 4 is not only going to be amazing for Edward here as a tank and other tanks, but also just supportive units, because you can give it to your allies. It's not just you doing it, you know, compared to like Flared Sparrow where you have to initiate. So yeah, Breath of Life 4, I mean, I guess Flared Sparrow also provides the terrain for your allies as well, but still, you get what I'm saying. Reduces force specials, reduces foe specials, I can't talk, and can power up his counterattack, what did it say? And also has great healing capabilities, yeah. So Edward is definitely a sleeper sword infantry, because he's someone you don't think is going to be crazy, but he is really, really good. So yeah, Edward is just going to reduce that damage, and he also healed at the start of combat, so amazing the way they implemented Breath of Life 4, I like it. So here's Leonardo, Freedom's Arrow, he's the D mode of course. And he's an amazing D-mode in my opinion. Definitely someone I want a +10 at some point. He has an amazing stat spread. He has good speed, good attack, and high res. He comes with attack res finish, which is incredible. I like that. I'm glad that more finish skills are going to be more accessible, because this is the first one that's accessible in the regular pool. I'm not sure, but that's amazing. Attack res finish. And doubler bow. This gives you effectiveness against flying foes, and at start of turn, if you're within 2 spaces of an ally, grants attack res +6 to unit and allies within 2 spaces. And also, if unit initiates combat within 2 spaces of an ally, you grant +X to all your stats during combat. X equals 4 plus the highest bonus on each stat between unit and ally. So you basically have bonus doubler 4 built in, and the ability to give those buffs off the bat. So amazing weapon for sure. Definitely really good offensively and defensively. And while you might use, you know, Arcane Dark Bow or something as his endgame bow, this is still a really good bow that you can still use at high investment. So I like how this is pretty potent. Bonus number 4 is one of the best skills in my opinion, because low skills don't completely negate it, because it doesn't negate your allies' buffs. So yeah, amazing, inheritable. Luna is a special, attack res finish, and guard 3. So he's more tailored as a defensive bow unit, but he has the speed to be offensive as well. So yeah, wields a bow that grants bonuses based on bonuses on him and nearby allies, and can deal +5 damage because of that finish skill. So I like how Leonardo was made as a D-mode. And then we have the rearmed hero, Soth. I thought he was Ascended Soth for a second, but he's the rearmed hero. And he has the dagger that I really want for my Summer Lind, because it's going to be really good, and she's more an offensive unit. While Arcane Void is good, it's not, you know, for faster units, you want a faster dagger that has like no follow-up, and this is what this dagger has. So yeah, Arcane Tempest is his weapon. So this gives you -1 cooldown and times pulse, so that's amazing, especially for units that don't get times pulse naturally. So basically anybody that's not infantry. So for my Summer Lind, she can have her lethality lowered down even more, so that's amazing. And to start combat, if she's alive, or sorry, I'm thinking this is Lynn's weapon already. If he's alive, or should I say whoever's using it, I guess, grants plus X to all your stats, X equals 25. Okay, so this is the same check that Edward had on his weapon. And you reduce damage from the foe's first attack by 30%, including the brave hits, and if you're faster, you have the full no follow-up, and of course the dagger debuff. So this is amazing because you do have the DR, and that's defensive, but many nukes of course have DR already, and you can stack this with Remote Sparrow if you want, and yeah, so it has its defensive merit, but you have to be fast to make use of the full no follow-up. So if you're not fast, this is not really going to be a great weapon for you, but I guess you can make it work with speed stacking. But yeah, this is going to be a really good offensive fast dagger. And Bane is his special. So Bane is in Radiant Dawn, and I also believe it's in Engage as well. So Bane, what Bane did in Radiant Dawn is it reduced the foe's HP to 1. And here, it does a little bit more than that. So I don't actually fully understand this skill. I make mistakes all the time. I'm human. I'm not as smart as other people, or I just miss things. So my bad if I'm not understanding this skill, because I don't really understand it fully. But basically, it treats the foe's defense res stats as it reduced by 40%. So it's like Luna, I think. And then when special triggers, you also pierce through damage reduction. So that's amazing. And also, if damage dealt prior, this is the part I don't understand. If also damage dealt prior to damage reduction calculation is less than the foe's HP -1, you set damage before damage reduction as foe's HP -1, excluding certain foes such as Rucker. So I don't understand that. Again, I could just be stupid, but that's something pretty interesting. But yeah, Bane is crazy because it pierces with DR, and it's, you know, it's like lethality, but it's only at 2 cooldown. And I believe this special is only for Soth, which makes sense because this is gonna be his own thing. And if this was inheritable, that'd be kind of stupid. So glad it isn't. I believe, I think Faye said in the Faye channel that it is Soth's exclusive special, so that's really good. And if unit or foe special is ready or triggered before or during this combat, you reduce damage from the foe's next attack by 30%. Okay, so you also have damage reduction built into this. So yeah, very, very strong special that Soth is gonna help. It's gonna help him age better. Attack speed finish 4, potent disarm. This is the exact same thing as potent 4, except you don't have damage reduction, and instead you can disarm traps and ether raids. This is amazing for someone like Soth because potent, I mean, disarm trap is something I used to use on my Summerlin back when I used her on ether raids offense in the good old days where she was strong enough to do that kind of thing. And this is cool because now you can have potent with disarming abilities, so that's amazing. And potent is allowed on everybody except for armors, I think. Yeah, and disarm trap is only allowed on infantry and cavalry units, I think. I don't think it's allowed on flyers. I could be wrong. But yeah, the skill inheritance restrictions on this isn't as bad as you might think, I guess, if assuming those are right. And then attack speed pledge is his special, or not special, his C slot. So finally someone else besides Legendary Lear has that. So that is Rearm Soth, amazing unit, not just with his skills and his weapon and his special, but also because he has the ability to dupe skills because he's a rearmed hero. So you can dupe Remote Sparrow, Occultist Strike, and whatnot. And if I get multiple copies of him, I definitely want to do that because I do have a spare Winter Yunaka. So yeah, Soth is pretty awesome. I like how it's designed. He has that green. It's kind of what Micaiah also has in her outfit. Tuned Micaiah, she also has green in hers. So they're kind of matching, which is cute. So yeah, here's a tuned Micaiah Mickey. I always had a soft spot for Mickey. I think she's beautiful, and no exception here. Really, really pretty. There she is with her green. And this Micaiah, even though she works similarly to other versions, like always, you know, nuking hard, high res, low defense, this Micaiah is probably the hardest hitting Micaiah next to like her wedding version that has the dominance. But yeah, this Micaiah is crazy because she provides amazing support. She can neutralize penalties on herself and her allies, and also remove penalty status on them. So of course, the effective against armor and cavalry foes, -1 cooldown, that's her signature. Allies within 2 space of unit can move to any space within 2 space of unit, because why not? Teleportation shenanigans, similar to what Legendary Lindsay can do. And to start enemy phase, you restore 10 HP to unit and allies within 2 spaces of units, so healing. After start of turn effects trigger on enemy phase, you convert penalties on yourself and allies within 2 spaces of unit into bonuses. So any kind of debuffs from like panic and whatnot, I guess, or yeah, so those are going to be turned into bonuses. So just like what Maiden Solace does. And also neutralizes 2 penalty effects on unit, excluding stat penalties, does not apply 2 penalty effects that are applied at the same time. Neutralizes the first applicable penalty effect on unit's list of active effects. So when you hit the on your screen when you hit the exclamation point, whatever the first two are, that's what's going to be cleansed. So that's really cool. That's really very strong because you can just stop stuff like sabotage and just shake that off. So that's amazing support. And then at start of combat, if she's alive, she inflicts attack res -6 on the foe. Inflicts penalty on the foe's attack res during combat equal to 20% of her res at the start of combat. You have low attack res, and you also deal true damage plus X during combat. X equals the number of allies in 3 rows, 3 columns. Centered on unit times 5, maximum 15. So really, really strong because that is true damage with, yeah, just can hit really, really hard, and also debuff the foe like crazy. Because if you didn't notice, in this combat here, she debuffs, casually debuffs Black Knight by 51 attack and 47 res. That's insane. And it's not just from this, it's her B slot that really makes it crazy. So Maiden Solace is her assist, of course, Fire Flood boost for the guard effect and more attack and res. So Yune's protection is what makes it crazy. So at start of turn, if any foes have the highest attack, speed, defense, or res on the enemy team, inflicts exposure, so you inflict even more damage, and discord on those foes, and inflicts -7 on the corresponding stat of those foes within 2... Okay, hold on. Corresponding stat of those foes and foes within 2 spaces of those foes. So many foes in one sentence, gosh. Through the next actions. And if unit initiates combat within 2 spaces of an ally, you inflict a further attack res -5 on the foe. Inflicts a penalty on foe's attack res equal to the highest penalty on each stat between target and foes within 2 spaces of target. So you're doubling down on the penalty they already have, and hence why Black Knight was getting hit with 51 and 47 minus attack and res, I think. So that's crazy. And she also has DR, because why not? So Yune's protection is insane. That is going to make Micaiah an insane nuke. And obviously we have units that can stack up to like plus 99 stats, like Legendary Marth and Attuned Sita, but I don't think we've seen a unit that can debuff the stats like that for someone that much. That's crazy. Like, at least I haven't seen it in a while. 51 attack and 47 res is no joke. That's insane. And attack res crux is her C slot, so this gives the foes, they suffer guaranteed follow-up attacks, and also attack res -4 within 3 rows and 3 columns. And then she has the X skill, Far Trace Echo. This is one of the best X skills so far. Enables Canto remaining minimum 1, and you can deal true damage, because why not? On top of exposure already, you can deal true damage. So yeah, Far Trace Echo, it would have been amazing already with just this part, but of course they added the true damage on it, because why not? I mean, +3 might not seem like that much, but that's going to add to her offensive power, and she is insane when it comes to nuking. So Micaiah, while she does work similarly to other versions, you know, just hitting hard, this one hits harder than any other Micaiah probably. So yeah, and even though she can debuff your attack like crazy, I mean 51 is insane, she's still going to be relatively frail. You know, she's a flyer, so bow units are going to pick her off, and she's going to have low defense. But her defense isn't as low as I thought it would be. She has like 30 base res, defense, which is higher than you think. I thought she would have like 20 something. I mean, 30 isn't that high, I guess, for today's standards, but still, there's just that spread. Yeah. And then there she is next to her allies. They can teleport to her. So just amazing support all around, and just is an insane nuke. So you definitely want to try and take her out in the player phase if you can, but even then, you might be crippled and debuffed like crazy. And look at Arvel getting debuffed by 55 attack and 55 res. That's insane. He's doing absolutely nothing. So yeah, even if you do have like effective damage, it might not matter because she can just debuff you like crazy. So yeah, this Micaiah is low-key kind of broken, I feel like. So definitely not looking forward to fighting her, but it's definitely someone I want to summon for. So yeah, so they had to drop this right before summer, man. I was saving and they had to do it to me. So hopefully the first summer banner doesn't have anyone I really want, I guess, because I might pull on this. I don't know. But if you guys are going to be pulling on it, good luck. If you're not, good luck saving. And yeah, so that is the banner and the FEH channel. I know this video is longer than usual, but hopefully it isn't too long or too annoying. But yeah, thanks for listening to me ramble. As always, leave a like if you enjoyed. Please stay safe out there. Peace out.